you need to do a SWOT analysis for yourself. And I'm assuming most of you are familiar with SWOT analysis. It's basically identifying your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. And spend a good amount of 1 to 2 hours. Just 1 to 2 hours, maybe in one sitting or 2 sittings. Go through your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and list that. And that would create you self-awareness, number 1. Number 2, also carry out a life visioning exercise. Now, I've simplified that. It's a very long process, but I very much simplified for you to do it first time. And I'm sure most of you have not done it before, but do it this time. Follow the guidelines I provided in the next slides. Again, spend 1 to 2 hours for quality results from this exercise. Now, SWOT analysis. So general guidelines, it's a very powerful tool to develop self-awareness. So if you have not done it yourself, then try to do it. It would create a lot of understanding of yourself. So our journey of leadership development starts with us, right? And it's relative and comparative. So don't say that I have 2 hands, that's my advantage or a strength. No, everybody else has 2 hands, so that's not your strength. Your strength is something which is unique. Not unique, but not everybody has it. So you can say that, look, my strategic knowledge is very high. Yeah, that's your strength. Or you could say that I have a special experience in M&A. That's your strength, because everybody else may not have that strength. So it's comparative. And it's your perspective, what you think about yourself, but also try to capture what other people think of you. And it may be same, it may be very different, but try to tap that perspective. And for each category, like strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats, try to identify at least 10 to 12 items. As I said, when you start doing it, you may run out 5 or 6 items and cannot think. Then give it a break, and then sit another time and try to think deeper. You should be able to find out 10, 12 items under each category. And if you are not familiar with SWOT, then I've given you a link here. This is a very good article. This will help you to explain what a SWOT analysis is and how to do a personal SWOT analysis. Now, how to do, I have also listed questions here. I'm not going to do them right now, but each category, like strength, these are the questions you have to ask yourself. And once you go through these questions, many answers would come into your mind, and then you have to list those things as your strengths or weaknesses. So 1 slide for strengths, 1 slide for weaknesses, 1 slide for opportunities, 1 slide for threats. These are the questions you need to ask yourself, right? So see yourself, these are very simple. Visioning exercise, what you need to do. So again, find a quality time. It's not something you can do while you're driving or you're in a meeting. You need to find some quality time with yourself. And start with, very simple, identify your 5 deepest value. What you care about. Is it integrity, or is it professionalism, or it is hard work, or it is family, whatever it is. I'll give you some examples, but identify your 5 deepest values, number 1. Number 2, look at the last 10 years of your life, last 10 years. So since 2006 or 2007, what if you're given another chance to relive your life for the last 10 years, you are brought back to 2006 and you need to relive your 10 years, how would you do that in your mind? What different would you do? And if you would have done that differently, where would you be today? That's you need to identify. That's your potential, basically. Thirdly, what is your identity? Who you are at your best? And you can use an analogy like, for some people, it's motivational, it's emotional, it's spiritual. I'm a climber. Some people say I'm a climber. I would always climb. No matter what difficult, I keep climbing. That's one good way to define yourself. Or you can say, I'm a stone cutter. I keep hammering. Whatever happens, I keep hammering, and ultimately there would be a result. So give it some quality thought and identify your identity, who you are at your best. Or you could say, I'm a friend, or I'm a father, or whatever, at my best. Think a little deeper. Next, describe your career vision in present sentence, reflecting your personal vision and value. So most of the people reach to their career peak around their 50s. And by 60, they are ending up. So think of that time period when you are at your peak of your career. And what is that peak? Maybe you could say, I would like to retire as a CFO of $1 billion company. Okay, that's good. Or maybe I would like to retire as a CEO of a large business or a Fortune 500, whatever comes in your mind. Think very creatively, openly. Don't think of limitations, think of possibilities, and think of that, and then say that in one sentence. I am the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, and then expand it. What do you do? What do you do? What is your personality? What is your surrounding? What type of house you are living? What type of car you are driving? Little bit of paragraph. And then based on that career vision, come back and say, okay, if I see myself in my late 50s, this level, what should I do in the next 2 years, 5 years, and 10 years? Identify those goals very clearly. Give it some meat. Don't say that I just want to be next promotion. Just add some meat, because that will open up, that would awaken your emotional thinking, emotional strength, emotional energy. So give it some thoughts and put something in the writing. And finally, after you have identified your 2, 5, and 10 years goal, look at your current SWOT analysis, which you have done earlier, and identify major gaps to fix in order to accomplish your 2, 5, and 10 years goal. For example, you say, my goal in 10 years to become a CEO, but your network is very weak. Nobody knows you. So you say, okay, that's my weakness. I will work upon it, because you are determined to achieve your 10-year goal, right? Something like that. Now, in the next few slides, there is a reference material. So this slide you see, it's a list of the deepest value checklist. So you can say, okay, what are my deepest values? Look at the list, and maybe you will find that, maybe integrity is my deepest value, or honesty is my extreme value, or excellence. I want to achieve everything with a very high quality, or maybe empathy, or maybe courage, whatever comes to your heart, that would be your deepest value. 5, pick out of that. Common performance barriers. So when you are doing a gap analysis, these are the common performance barriers for most of the corporate professionals. Low energy, or negative attitude, or criticizing other people, or high anxiety, or overly dependent, or lack of empathy, or lack of self-confidence. Again, go through this list with some quality time, and you will find what is related to you. Performance barriers. So the purpose of this exercise is really to have a clarity going forward. So you are looking broadly in a bigger manner to your life and your strengths and your weaknesses, and then we would be deciding what you want to accomplish. You would decide your vision, and then we'll be working based on your vision and goals, how you would accomplish that going forward in this program, right? So for those of you who have not come across this material, it may sound a little overwhelming for you at this point of time, but just be comfortable with your pace. Give to yourself some time to digest the material first.